Marbury!
Stephon Marbury is an American former professional basketball player. Born in 1977 in the Coney Island neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York City.
With the fourth pick in the 1996 NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Stephon Marbury. Marbury on the drive.
He was a two-time NBA All-Star in 2001 and 2003. He joined the Chinese Basketball Association League in 2010 and won the CBA championship with the Beijing Ducks 3 times in 4 years. Following his retirement as a player on June the 24th, 2019, he was named head coach of the Beijing Royal Fighters. Marbury became an honorary citizen of Beijing in 2014. At the end of December 2015, he was granted a Chinese green card, entitling him to permanent residence. This is a practice session of Beikong, a CBA team based in Beijing, and today in Icon I'll be talking to their head coach, Stephon Marbury. Stephon, good to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
And welcome to Icon. And now you have this new title, head coach of Beikong. How does it feel for you?
It's good. You know, it's a new challenge. It's something different, but it's the same thing in what it is that I'm used to doing in playing basketball.
The same thing?
Yeah, I mean, you're on the court, just not playing, basically. But feel myself on the court playing when I'm giving advice and I'm telling guys to do this, do that, you know, come off the screen hard. It's the same things that you would do when you're playing. So you can kind of envision yourself while you're on the court giving that same energy to the guys when they're playing.
Have you always wanted to be a coach?
No.
No?
No, I didn't always want to be a coach.
So how come this
It evolved to that. I mean, when I first came to China, I found myself doing a lot of teaching and showing guys to do this and showing guys how to do that. And when I started to play for Shogun, you know, Coach Ming gave me the reins to do a lot of different things to help the team. So I basically became like a player assistant. I was doing most of the defense and, you know, helping coach with different offensive strategies. He gave me a lot of reign, as I said, to, you know, put us in positions where we would be in a situation where we could win games.
But it's different responsibility to be a player on the court, and you play for yourself, for the team. But when you are the head coach, then you have to direct everyone to go certain directions, to play with the strategies you've designed for the team. So is it more responsibilities, different duties?
It's a lot of responsibility. You know, you have to basically deal with managing personalities, you know.
And personalities too, not just basketball.
Yes, it's not. Basketball is to me, that's the easy part, getting guys to come to practice and stay focused. You know, the mind is the hardest part, to get them to stay locked in throughout the whole time, so that, you know, when we're on the basketball court, you know, all of the stuff that we're practicing, they can stay in tune and stay locked in. You know, that's a hard part. But, you know, some guys, they tired. Some guys don't want to practice sometimes because we practice so hard. But, you know, getting them to stay into that mood and into that mind frame, that's the challenge.
And the morale thing. Just now when I see you coach in practice, you kept talking to me and saying, you have to shout out, you have to say it out, you have to like talk. I mean, why is it so important?
I mean, when you're on defense and you're talking, it makes the offense crazy sometimes when they're playing, because guys are speaking and talking about covering for each other. Guys are talking, you know, somebody might lose their man, and no one says anything, that guy can slip easily to the basket and score. You know, that's one of the things that I learned from watching teams like the Detroit Pistons when they won championships, Chauncey Billups and their team. You know, those guys, they communicated on a court on the defensive end. Rasheed Wallace, he was always in the back when pick and rolls were happening. He was screaming, pick, pick. You know, just those little, you know, those little talks and hearing that all the time, it puts you in a position where, you know, you're alert, you're aware, you know, you get over the pick. You know, if the pick is coming late, you know it's coming. So all of those opportunities on defense where, you know, you will find yourself losing your man and somebody's talking and communicating, and then, you know, you're able to recover. All of that stuff, those are pluses.
Oh, he knocked it down! Marbury, 4-3, ring it up. Step for three, and it's good!
For former NBA professional basketball player Stephon Marbury, China was the second starting point in his career. On March the 30th, 2012, Marbury led the Beijing Ducks to a 4-1 victory of the Guangdong Dongguan Bank team to win the CBA championship. In 2013, he was elected MVP in the CBA regular season. In 2014, he led the Beijing Ducks to a second championship in 3 years, securing the title with a 4-1 victory over Xinjiang Guanghui in the finals. On March the 22nd, 2015, led by Marbury, the Beijing team beat Liaoning 4-2 to win the championship for the third time in 4 years.
When I came to China, my whole life changed. You know, my life, my basketball career, winning championships here in China and Beijing has been, that was the turning point of
3 championships in 4 years. That's what a remarkable achievement. But I mean, what happened? Was it an overnight decision? Yeah, one night in 2010, yes, I wanted to go to China.
No, I didn't. It didn't just happen like that. You know, during that time, I was going through a lot. During that time, I was depressed. You know, my dad had passed away. The NBA, things weren't going well there. You know, I had some bumpy, you know, roads with Larry Brown, the coach. You know, we had difference of opinions as to how we felt and how we dealt with things, which, you know, is normal, but it's something that happened. You know, as I said, you know, for me, everything has been a learning experience, and being able to learn through those times, and for me to be older now, and for me to be able to recognize my decisions and the things that I've done. I'm not perfect, but I'm not as bad as people were trying to make me out to be, which I think coming to China, it gave me the opportunity to be able to showcase that. I couldn't be as bad as people were saying when I come to another country and people see me and view me differently after a period of time. So for me, I got the opportunity to be able to fight that by doing the things that I love to do on the basketball court and showing people who I really am on the basketball court. So a lot of what people were saying about who I was as a person and as a basketball player became untrue. So for me, that was, you know, a great mark for me, and me staying consistent with who I was as a person and who I was as a basketball player without fighting and going against because I was someplace else. So I allowed what I was able to do in another country to show people who I was back then, even though things, you know, as I said, I wasn't perfect in it, but I wasn't as bad as they tried to make me out to be.
Well, definitely it's possible because this is a new country, it's a new market, it's a new association. But again, it's all BAs, but it's an NBA and it's a CBA, 2 different BAs. So did you find it difficult to actually adjust yourself to maybe to this market, to different styles of basketball?
You know, it's a lot harder to play basketball here in the CBA.
In the CBA?
Yes. For me, it's a lot harder. You know, it's more of a challenge because here in the CBA, you know, you have to do everything. It's not like in the NBA, you got the 1 guard, the 2 guard, the 3 guard, the 4-man, and the 5-man. Some NBA players who've come to China who couldn't play in the CBA because they just weren't good enough to play in this style and this system. The CBA is a lot faster.
CBA is a lot faster.
CBA is a lot faster. You have to be in shape. You have to be in a different type of shape to play basketball here, because here there's no TV timeouts. There's no, in the NBA you may have about 9 timeouts. So that's why the game can go about 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours. So guys get to rest a lot. They get to sit down and rest. In the CBA, coaches aren't using those timeouts as fast as they, are getting timeouts in the NBA. So that's a different type of method, a different type of style that's being played.
Those differences plus some cultural differences and sometimes it's not a natural result that an NBA player would play easily in the CBA.
You got the language barrier. You're basically receiving information from another person. And
Translator.
The translator. So, that's another thing that you have to deal with. For me, that was a little challenging. It was a little challenging at first, but it's all basketball. It's universal, right? The language is universal. So when you know the game and you know what you're supposed to do, once you know the strategy, okay, I'm not supposed to allow somebody to go middle. If we practice, the guy's not supposed to go middle. So if the coach, your man goes middle and the coach starts screaming, oh, I'll let middle go, right? So you kind of figure it out.
But the body language. Yeah, and also the universal language of basketball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all of these different things, they all have input in how the game is different, how it's a lot more challenging. When I said that before, people was like, oh, you just saying that the CBA is harder than the NBA. I said, well, I dominated in the NBA. So it's not like I'm just saying that just to be saying it. I'm saying it because it really is hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's just different. Let's say different leagues and different languages and different cultures.
Yeah, it is different. I'm Stephon Marbury, and you're watching Icon on CGTN.
Stephon Marbury began playing in the CBA League in January 2010 and quickly won the hearts of Chinese fans with his friendly personality. He now considers Beijing as his home. His numerous fans have given him many nicknames, including Lao Ma, Ma Zhengwei, and Ma Qiuwen. In 2012, Beijing fans erected a bronze statue of Marbury at the city's Wukesong Arena.
The lovely nicknames given to you by your fans. You got the first one, Lao Ma.
Lao Ma.
You have to explain to the viewers what does it mean. Why do people?
Old horse, old Ma.
Old Ma, but I mean it's an intimate and a nice way to call you, right? In China, when you're close friends, and people call you Lao Ma.
I mean, I think people started to see my personality and they started to understand who I was as a human being. When you read something about someone and you don't know that person and this story is being written all the time, it's understandable for a human being to think and feel that way. A lot of people don't really go try to find out the information about somebody, or they just read it and take it for what it is. I think coming to Beijing and playing here in Beijing, when people started to see me taking the subway and started to see me going to the cross talk shows and doing all of the things that I was, involving myself in and trying to find out about the culture, I think people started to see me open up more, and they saw me open up more in a way where, I wasn't doing that in America because that's where I'm from. I did that stuff already. But coming here and trying to
connect it with
them. So I could understand what it really was about, and I loved it. So you can't fake real, right? If it's real, it's real. Yeah. So for me it was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. Like trying different foods and.
What about the other title, Ma Zhengwei?
Ma Zhengwei.
Again, you have to explain it in English. What exactly? Because I guess you don't have that in
It's like
in America.
yeah, people look at it as a
commissioner,
spiritual leader.
A spiritual leader.
Yeah, like a spiritual leader. A lot of people say, "Oh, Marbury, you're fighting all the way into the death." I was like, that's the only way I know. I mean, I come from the projects. I wasn't given anything. My life growing up was challenging. It was hard. So whatever we got, when we got it, we appreciated what we got. You know, so for me, you know, leading and fighting, and that was the least I could do in trying to win the game. And I think once my teammates saw that, and they was like, "Man, this dude will go through a wall to try to win," and I'm like, "That's all it's really about."
It's all about, yeah.
Yeah, it's not much. If you're gonna play, I'm exerting all of my energy. I'm giving all of my who I am
to win,
to try to win. Like, why wouldn't I go down fighting like that? And that is the attitude and the understanding in which I'm trying to give off to my players now. Yeah, now my teammates then, and now the players. And these guys, they know that, they saw that.
One thing's for sure, people in Beijing liked you a lot, especially in those years you played so hard for the team and you helped the team to win that 3 championships of the CBA in 4 years. What a remarkable achievement. How did you feel about it? It must be very good.
You know, winning the first championship, it was like, you know, it's like when your dream comes true, but it's really happening in the moment, and you get to see it. Like, I really got the opportunity to see what winning a championship, what it looked like through my eyes, not through the experience of watching it on TV. You see Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Yeah, you see those guys win the championship. And then winning it in Beijing, it was like, I don't know, I just felt like it was better and bigger than winning in the NBA. We never felt like we were gonna lose. You know, and that feeling when you like, oh, we're not gonna lose, we're still gonna win. You don't even realize when you're on the court how much more focused you become and how you start those mistakes you was making in the first half. You're not making those mistakes in the second half, and you're cutting the lead down. And those guys are getting rattled, and you can't even see them getting rattled because you're just playing. And then you know, I never forget, we was playing in the finals, and we was playing against Liaoning, and they started celebrating. And I kept telling the guys, I said, "It's a lot of time left." I was like, "It's 3 minutes left." It's like, it's a lot of time. We was down by like 12 or something like that. One of the guys subbed in, Shockway. He subbed in, and boom, he hit 3 threes in a row. Boom, boom, boom. That's 9 points. We was back in the game. And next thing you know, Liaoning was looking around like the coach screaming, and then they started to get tired. And I said, "They tired. Look, they tired." And then that's when our conditioning kicked in. So this is all part of the championship run and us doing that. And the Beijing people witnessed it. They were right there. They were the 6th man. They were with us every step of the way. It's kind of, when we played, it felt like the whole city was playing.
You know, just look at you describing all these scenes. It's so vivid. It's so vivid.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I mean, those are the best times in my basketball career. Other than when I got drafted, there's no better times when I won a championship. Those moments, you can never, ever take those moments away because you really experienced that. And the Beijing fans experienced that. You know, during that time, I wasn't even going out to eat. I wasn't doing anything. So I couldn't feel that. I couldn't feel that energy until I got into the arena. You know what I'm saying? I never felt the mood of that until after I stopped playing basketball, and I would go different places, and you see people like, "Oh my God, Marbury, I went to that game, I was at this game, I was at that game." It's so funny. And
they share the moments.
Yeah, you know, and then when Chinese people who can't really speak English, when they start talking English, it's like they thinking as hard as they can to tell.
But you got it.
Yeah,
you felt it.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's really positive.
You say it this way, it's a great opportunity, but I mean, it's real in your life, and this is really what is happening in your life. And not only that, you got the championships, you got the title of the honorary citizen of Beijing, you got the green card, you got the friendship award, you got everything, and people in Beijing, they took you as their family now.
Yes, we are family. it's home. This is love. This is where my life turned and changed, and it's been nothing but a blessing. I just thank God for me being able to have the opportunity to be able to see that in my life. Because not a lot of people get to go through these type of things in their lives. For me to be able to visually see it and to go through it and to be the person that was able to connect with it, you know, it's been nothing but a blessing.
I see Beijing must have a special place in your heart.
100%.
It's New York and Beijing.
It's home. It's love. This is where I feel my peace at.
In addition to his basketball career in China, Marbury has made a crossover into stage and film. In October 2014, the play I Am Marbury opened in Beijing to a highly favorable response. As Marbury himself put it, the stage play is not about telling people about my experience, but about using my experience and the experience of the two protagonists to inspire more people to succeed in the city of Beijing. In August 2017, the movie My Other Home, starring Marbury, was released in China.
Moving into this new year, say you're having all these new titles, and at the same time you're seeing some more changes happening on you. You're seen in films, in variety shows. You're now working on your own business, your own brand and everything. So these are planned.
These are things that evolved and happened over time. The movie, you know, they came to me and said, we want to do a movie. I was like, I never did a movie before. I mean, I said before, you know, you play around and you say, oh yeah, I want to be in a movie. I want to do the movie. I want to do this. I want to do that. But doing a movie is hard.
It's a new challenge.
Real work. It was the biggest challenge. That was the biggest challenge. People were like, oh, what's easier? Is it doing a movie or basketball? I said, what? Doing a movie is the hardest thing I ever did.
Variety show?
Remember you got to remember the line. The reality shows are, you know, you can stop and
that's a real reality.
You know what was really, to be honest, I got to back up and I got to say this. Doing the stage, when I did theater.
Yeah.
So that right there is hard, because you can't. There's no cut. Yeah, there's no redos. And the thing that I focused on most was when I was told, if you mess up, just keep going. Like, don't stop.
Don't let them discover.
Don't stop. I was like, don't stop. I was like, oh my God. And the story behind that's for another show. The story behind that doing theater was, I thought I was only going to be showing up and saying hi and doing all of that, to the part where the director was like, okay, so you're going to come out here and then you're going to read your lines. And I'm like sitting there while the person is reenacting me doing, you know, what I was supposed to do. And I'm like, nobody told me I had to do all of that. It was like, yeah, you could do it. Don't worry about it. I said, why do you have so much confidence in me to do something that I never did before?
Because you're Loma. You're Marjorie.
Oh, my God. So it's like, you'll figure it out. Don't worry. And they just so nonchalant about it, like, oh, don't worry about it. You're going to figure it out. It's going to be easy. And I'm like, you call this easy? You want me to remember all of this? Memorize all of this? I was like, how am I going to remember all of this in 6 days? I was like, no way. Come on. I figured it out. I did it.
So, yes, you can do it. So there's going to be more projects like that?
I don't know. I haven't been offered anything, so, I mean...
So, I mean, it's like your retirement from the basketball, and then it's almost like you're sort of opening the door to all these new possibilities.
Yeah. I mean, everything is possible now. I mean, it was always that, you know, but my focus was always on basketball. Now I'm open to do anything and everything. I think being in that position to be able to do anything and everything, you know, it livens up your life. I'm 42 years old. You know, I have a grandson.
You have a grandson already?
Yeah, I have a grandson. Yes, I have a grandson. So, I mean, my life is, and I love having, I'm so happy I had my kids early. When I look at some of my friends, they're like 42, 43, and they're like, oh yeah, my 8-year-old. I'm like, yo, 8-year-old? I'm like, oh, I'm past that stage. My 2-year-old, I'm like, yeah, 2-year-old. You got a 2-year-old baby? You still changing Pampers? Oh, I'm done. I'm not playing
So
no
you are used to the role of being a grandpa? Or?
Of course, I was right there when he was born. You know.
You took the new title, again, you took the new title fine.
Grandfather, grandpa. Trust me, I get it.
Oh, man. Grandpa Marbury.
I call, my nickname is GPS, Grandpa Steph. Grandpa Steph know the ways. That's the joke.
I can't believe, I mean, this is the grandpa that I'm talking to now in the show. Being so young like yourself. Yeah.
Trust me, I'm happy about it, and then I find myself like, oh man, I'm really getting closer to dying.
Being the grandpa, right? Being the GPS, Grandpa Steph. So, again, you got all these nice things happening, you know, to you now. So, what is your plan? You still, I mean, you're a GPS, but you're still so young. So, what is your plan for the future?
I mean, now my energy is towards coaching.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to Coach Jay Humphreys, the assistant coach, and he was like, I was like, oh man, I don't know how long I want to do this. I got a 3-year deal. You know, we win, it's 3 years. We lose, I get fired. I was like, I said, I really don't know how long I end up doing this, but you know, I'm starting to really love it, like coaching, because you start seeing the results from the work. When you start seeing the results from the work and you see the strategies that you put forth and you see that it comes to life, it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, oh yeah, we did that together, and I was the person that, you know, drew that up, or I told him to work on this, and then now that guy is working on it, and now he's consistent in doing it. Now it's the next thing that he's gonna get good at. So it's starting to become more and more of a role that I'm starting to really enjoy. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it at first, and we just practicing now. We're not even playing games yet, so I'm sure that the challenges will definitely come as they, you know, that's with everything. But at the same time, I'm doing something that I have passion for, something that, you know, I love doing.
Now, if in the future you're going to write a memoir about your career, about your life in Beijing, about that one night maybe in New York back in those years in 2010, you made the decision to come to China. How would you recall these, say, 10 years since 2010 till now?
I would say it's very colorful. It's not black and white. It's very colorful. It's very, you know, there's no straight, there's a bumpy road, there's windy turns, there are a variety of different things. You know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I interviewed him one time on my TV show. I had a TV show called Stars on Stars. And he said to me, he said, because I was dealing with a lot of stuff, and he said, you know what, young fella, he said, we all go in different directions, but we all end up at the same place. And I said, wow, that's pretty heavy, pretty deep, because, you know, everyone has their idea about what they're going to do, what they're doing, but we all trying to do the same thing, right? If you're really pushing to do something positive, you know, you're trying to get to the same place. And kicking the positivity and living in the positivity is the only reality that there is for me to live. There's no other way for me to go other than that. So doing what it is that I'm doing right now, I'm stuck in the moment on that.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Marbury, GPS, for sharing your stories with us, and looking forward to more colorful 10 years.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.